episode 125, The LinkedIn Show. Today is part one of a three-part special social media series where I get expert advice from live streamer Ross Brand about how to use LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook Live for content creators, personal brands, and online businesses. And you are listening to episode number 125 of Mike Murphy Unplugged. Learn, create, move forward. I am your host, Mike Murphy. I'm a one-man band, I'm a technology junkie, and I love helping people figure things out. And I am really excited to be here with you today. The goal of Mike Murphy Unplugged is to help you learn what you need to know in order to create online content so you can move forward in business and in life. So today's episode 125, it's all about LinkedIn. Episode 126 next week is going to look at Twitter, and episode 127 will examine Facebook Live. These are three heavy hitters in the social media and marketing world, but they are often misunderstood or underutilized by content creators and personal brands like myself. I dabble in all three channels, but I kind of struggle with them, especially LinkedIn, which has been getting a lot of buzz lately, but it is not enjoyable for me, and that is mostly because I have not figured out exactly what works, what I'm supposed to be doing. So I called in the big guns. Ross Brand from LivestreamUniverse.com is a friend and someone who I think uses all three channels as good as anyone online to not only promote his own brand and content, but he rolls out the red carpet for his guests. When you are a guest on Ross's podcast or one of his many live stream shows, he goes out of his way to promote his guests. I often tell him how amazed I am at his social sharing skills on these platforms, as he seems to be everywhere online, something we all want to do who are building a personal brand and online business. So I met up with Ross while he was visiting in Florida, and I asked him if he would give me his best tips and advice on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook Live, and if I could record his answers. And fortunately, for me and for you, Ross said yes. I create a ton of content, 365 days per year, but I do not do a great job at distribution, and that is probably the most important thing for a content creator in online business, and something that I think Ross does masterfully. So, for the next 3 episodes, I asked Ross to share his insights and knowledge and to make history as the first ever guest appearance on Mike Murphy Unplugged. I think you are going to find his insights extremely helpful and valuable. I know that I did. So let's get into episode 125, The LinkedIn Show. I will start each of these episodes with the facts and the figures and a general overview of each platform and social media channel, and then conclude with the questions and answers section with Ross. So let's get into episode 125, LinkedIn. What is LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn is a business and employee-oriented social media networking website located in the heart of Silicon Valley, geared towards professionals and those looking for jobs or business connections. Users create profiles that serve as sort of resumes or bios, and the goal is to add people to your network and have people add you to make connections and networking opportunities and build a professional community for your area of interest. Appropriately, their tagline is "Relationships Matter." It was founded by Reid Hoffman in 2002, who famously said, "If you are not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you shipped too late." Resonating with one of my favorites, done is better than perfect. Just start and put it out there. It does not have to be perfect in order for you to move forward. LinkedIn bought one of my favorite educational sites and where I've learned most of the technology over the years, lynda.com, in 2015 for $1.5 billion. And just 1 year later, in 2016, Microsoft paid $26.2 billion to buy LinkedIn. There are currently 530 million users on LinkedIn. 70% of LinkedIn users are from outside of the US. 40 million students and recent college graduates use LinkedIn. There are 57% male users, 44% female users. 41% of millionaires use LinkedIn. The average CEO has 930 connections. There are 5.5 million accountants on LinkedIn. 13% of the millennials, that's 15 to 34-year-olds, use LinkedIn. 44% of LinkedIn users earn more than $75,000 per year. LinkedIn now has 3 million active job listings on the platform. Profiles with professional headshots get 14 times more profile views, and profiles with photos will get 36 times more messages. And finally, the most overused profile word year after year is motivated, probably followed by my greatest weakness is that I work too hard. So LinkedIn, in a nutshell, is the social media channel for professionals, executives, CEOs, college students looking for careers, networking, and business opportunities. I have always found their website and technology to be outdated and not user-friendly, but in the past year or so, LinkedIn has been generating a lot of buzz and making a real push to be more than just a place to look for jobs and to be more of a publishing and content platform, which is kind of exciting for online businesses and brands like myself. So I did take some time last year. I cleaned up and I updated my profile, but I really haven't embraced LinkedIn yet, even though I know it could be very helpful for me, and that is why I wanted to ask an expert in this area. Ross Brand has a human resources background. He has used LinkedIn for recruiting and career advancement services, and he also does a really good job making connections for his own online platform. Ross is a pioneer in the field of live streaming and exploring different ways to leverage live video to grow your business or brand, and is my go-to person whenever I need help for LinkedIn. So the first question I asked Ross was about the recent buzz and the cool factor around LinkedIn, as it seems to be evolving and attracting more content creators and influencers, and I wanted to know exactly why creators and creatives like myself should be using LinkedIn in 2018. And here is how Ross responded to that question.
Well, over the last few years, LinkedIn is basically focused on their influencers. They have their core group of influencers, and they promote their stuff to the top of the news feed. And now it seems to be opening up where there's an opportunity for creators. They added a video, so you can now upload video, and you're seeing far more creators and people who are active on other social platforms bringing their material over to LinkedIn and putting it on there. And there's much more conversation around posts. And there's also the opportunity to get in front of people who may want to buy your product or your services. You're coming into contact with business people, and business people have money. So why not be on LinkedIn? It's a great place right now because there aren't as many creators. It's open up for you. Take advantage of the fact that, you can be a big fish in a small pond for a little while if you have good stuff that can stand out.
The second question I asked Ross was for those like me who had a profile set up on LinkedIn and forgot it existed, and now it is time to revive it and get up to speed. So I asked Ross the basic question of where someone should start if they keep hearing about how cool LinkedIn is and they want to take action and get noticed. What is the first thing that they should focus on?
So let's start with the fundamentals, right? You need a good headshot, something that is professional, that looks good, and is appropriate for your industry, whatever the norm is in your industry. Think about that, and then think about how it makes you look good. The next thing is think about the real estate, right? The most important piece of real estate is the headline. That's what people will see when they do searches. So you want to come up with a good headline that lets people know what you do, what you have to offer. And then the next most important piece is the summary, where you tell your story concisely. And you talk about what you have to offer. Always think of the potential client or customer in mind as you write that and as you want to build your personal brand. And then the other real thing that I think is a wonderful opportunity with LinkedIn is you don't want it to just be a resume where you tell what you can do. You want to show what you can do. And LinkedIn allows you to upload video, to upload photos, to link to articles, to link to videos that show your work off. So under each job, you can actually show what you did in that job. So rather than saying, I have great communication skills or I handled X number of accounts, you actually upload a video showing your communication skills or a photo of you giving a speech or something. Put the visual out there and let people get that impression in their head, because we're visual creatures. So when you're getting back into LinkedIn, the first place to start is to get your profile right. If people see your work, that's where they're going to go. Next is to take a look at your profile. So get that profile right first.
And finally, the last thing I wanted to know about that's near and dear to me is content strategy. So I asked Ross, what type of content should I be making for LinkedIn, and how often should I be posting there?
You want to put content that's related to your business, related to your professional brand on LinkedIn. You don't want to be putting pictures of yourself at the beach or at a concert or something like that. The other thing is you want to make sure that you're not posting too often on LinkedIn. Maybe once a day. Make it if you post 5 times a day on Facebook, or you post 20 times a day on Twitter, just pick the best post, the post that's most representative of your best work, and post that. But I think you can be posting on LinkedIn now every day and stay active in the news feed, comment on other people's posts, they'll comment on yours, and start to treat it as a social network rather than a static resume.
A big, big thank you to Ross Brand from LivestreamUniverse.com for sharing his insights and knowledge on LinkedIn. I will leave a link to his profile page on LinkedIn, and you definitely want to connect with him, as his network has some people doing incredible work in the live streaming and the content creation world, and you will learn a ton about social media and promotion from Ross. LinkedIn has been one of those social media channels that I have always viewed as I know I should be there, but quite honestly never enjoyed the user experience. The website and the mobile app has always been clunky and unintuitive, and not to mention all of those emails you get from your old high school friends and random people that have been waiting forever for you to accept their invitation that you didn't even know about. We have all been there, but it's getting better. LinkedIn is evolving. They are trying to blend the professional networking aspect with the content creation side, making it a platform that personal brands, podcasters, YouTubers should not sleep on, because as their tagline says, relationships matter. If you are making content to attract new clients, or get brand sponsors and deals, or to get hired by businesses, or to collaborate with influencers, well, they are all on LinkedIn. And the reason many of them are on LinkedIn is to find talented people that they want to work with. Will they find you with an updated photo and profile that tells the story of you? I hope they do. For the show notes and links to everything mentioned today, head on over to mikemurphy.co/EP125. And I thank you for joining me today. I hope you join my one-man band, and together we can learn, create, and move forward. Cheers.